Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. There's a thing of beauty. It's called when two heavyweights knock lumps out of each other with no technique. It's it's great to watch sometimes. But normally you want it to be, swings and roundabouts. You don't want it to be too one-sided, otherwise it gets dull. Well, I'm afraid we had the latter, which was Arslanbek Makhmudov absolutely battering a guy called Raphael Akpejiori, I think his name was, a guy from Nigeria who came in with a 15 wins, no defeats, no draws, 14 KOs. But if you've got someone with a record like that, and you're a big boxing fan and you've never really heard of them, you don't know anything about them, it normally means they fought no one. And sure enough, if you look at Mr. Akpejiori's record, he had fought no one at all. Now, the flip side of this was Arslanbek Makhmudov, who first laced on a pair of boxing gloves when he was 6. So, by the way, Mr. Akpejiori has only been fighting for 6 years. He was originally an American football player. But Makhmudov came in with 16 wins, 15 KOs, no draws, no defeats. 34 years old, Russian, very well schooled. Obviously, he's been fighting all his life, and he just, I don't know, he completely ragdolled Mr. Akpejiori, Raphael Akpejiori. It couldn't have been more one-sided. He came out, Makhmudov, this is, looking for not a first round knockout, a first second knockout, and Akpejiori was still more or less in his corner. He stood bolt upright at Akpejiori. Makhmudov just came in wailing, huge punches. Very good with the uppercut. Very, very good uppercut on Makhmudov. And Makhmudov, he's 6'5", 6'6", something like that. But Akpejiori is actually 6'8", so he was taller. But he made himself even taller by standing upright, and he just couldn't miss him. Makhmudov couldn't miss him. And sure enough, in the first round, down goes Akpejiori. I can't remember what the punch was for the first knockdown. I think he was basically taking a lot of punches, and there was one that caught him sort of around the back of the head with a right hand, and he skidded over to the corner and collapsed, and he got called a knockdown, which it was. And then at the end of the first round, there was an uppercut that put him over? I think it was. Right, no, he was trapped on the ropes, and there was an uppercut in the combination. I'm doing this from memory. I've only seen it the once. And he basically had Akpejiori on the ropes. Makhmudov was battering the hell out of him. Akpejiori's legs were never the same after the first knockdown. He was all over the place, and he was on the ropes, and the referee called it a knockdown. He was sort of sagging on the ropes, more or less down. Gets up. Do you want to continue? Yeah, not very convincing, was it? But that was right at the end of the round. So at least he made it into the second round. But the second round was just more of the same. Makhmudov landed a huge uppercut, another huge right uppercut. Orthodox fighter, by the way, but I think they both were. But a massive uppercut, which Akpejiori, in fairness, took. His legs were just, they were like rubber. But the guy had a lot of willpower. He wasn't going on the floor easily. And when the third knockdown came, it was really a sort of bunch of untidy, scuffing punches that were sort of thrown randomly by Makhmudov, which had Akpejiori eventually sort of almost tumbling to the floor near the ropes. And he got up. A referee gave him the 8 count, looked at him, and in the end just waved it off. And Akpejiori complained. He said, what are you talking about? Well, it would have been more the same. I mean, I don't think Akpejiori landed a single punch in this fight. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can't remember him. I can't remember going, he landed a good punch. I think he landed one, actually, in the first round, maybe one right hand, but that was it. And there was no attempt to jab, not from either guy, to be honest. But it was almost like Makhmudov thought, who the hell's this guy? I don't even need any tactics. I'm just going to tear after him, smash him up and get him out of there. And that's precisely what he did. I mean, it was bad. It was a bad defeat for Akpejiori, who clearly isn't world class, but has a very glossy record compiled against pretty much non-entities. Makhmudov at 34 will move on. I mean, he's ranked highly by I think all the bodies. And yeah, he's there to face the big boys, to face the big guns. You know, Gerald Anderson. This was on the undercard of the Gerald Anderson Prince Charles Williams Prince Charles Martin fight, and yeah, why not fight the winner? I'd love to see that fight, or Makhmudov against I don't know. You name it. You name any of the top 10. He can go in there. He can go in there. I'm not saying he's got the skills of a Tyson Fury or even a Joshua or someone like that, but he's rough and tumble. He's a rough and tumble guy who's used to fighting all his life, and I'd keep an eye on him. I wouldn't rule him out against the very best. He'll give anyone a fight, no question. So did you see this fight? If so, leave your comments below as usual. I want to see them. I want to reply to them. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Please do it. We want to raise the awareness of Joe Stunner Boxing and get some more subscribers on, and hit the like button if you don't mind too. Thanks for your time as always, and bye for now.